19.
Hey everybody, welcome to Goose's Wrestling Pod. We are in the year 1989. We're gonna be here for 10 weeks. Lots to
Wow.
cover this year.
There
A lot
was
of ten-
10 pay-per-views across the board in 1989.
yeah, 5 from WWE, 5 from NWA, but WCW. This is kind of the year where it becomes WCW. But
Mm.
the last WWE one's kind of weird, but we're gonna have fun with it. Um, we're gonna cover the Royal Rumble '89, but before we do that, Andrew Lee, did you watch Backlash this
I
weekend?
only I only watched clips of the people who returned, and the only full match I got to see was Bianca Belair versus Io Sky, which was the first match.
What'd you think of that one? I thought that was great.
It was good because of the crowd, right?
You like it?
Uh, it was okay match, man. They were booing Bianca Belair, and they were really into Io Sky, which was really interesting. But I get it too, though. I get why. 100%
Mhm.
get why. Did you
So
see it? Did you like it when Bianca dropped Io Sky on her face?
yeah, that was
Really?
that was rough. You're gonna enjoy the rest of the show. I thought it was a really good show. The Bad Bunny match I thought was fantastic. It's so funny. I see a Dave Meltzer clip, and Ryan Alvarez, that was a great match. And Dave Meltzer's like, well, it wasn't a great match. It was good for what it was. Damian Priest bumped really well, and Bad Bunny like wrestled really well. And I'm like, well, that's a good match then, you fucking idiot. Like,
yeah,
he just does
yeah,
not want to give
exactly.
Bad Bunny credit.
Yes, I agree. I think he, whenever, if anybody who says he's not biased, they
Mm-hmm.
should 100% have listen to when he reviews good matches on the WWE side. He doesn't like to give them. He doesn't just like say it's a good match. We're in AEW, it's everything's a good match. You know?
Well, and also he does it. He's very they were like hardcore wrestling or hardcore like they don't like WWE. They just like indie wrestling fans giving
Mm-hmm.
Bad Bunny props for what he did. And he, for whatever reason, just does not want to give him props. It'd be funny because I know New Japan would do it. I wonder if Bad Bunny ever wrestled at like Wrestle Kingdom, if then Dave Meltzer would change his tune.
Yeah, I think if Bad Bunny goes to, let's say, AEW, he'll change his tune. You
Oh
know?
yeah, it'll be like, how great is this for Tony Khan and AEW? First of all, I think WWE would let Bad Bunny wrestle for New Japan just to say he did. Which would be hilarious if he had a great match on New Japan. But like I think his relation with WWE he won't go to AEW. It would be a step down for him anyway. You know what I mean?
No, I think he's Bad Bunny's a wrestling fan in the sense of like it hasn't taken over his life like ours.
Well,
You
it
know?
can't. It
Yeah,
can't.
like so his scope of wrestling fandom is just WWE. Like he
Well,
doesn't go past that.
from what we know,
Yeah, yeah, from what we know. I don't think
he could be watching AEW. He's not gonna go like I love AEW like while
like
WWE is taking all
like
this.
us, like we like wrestling so much, we consume anything wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I don't think he's that kind of a fan, you know?
Uh, I don't know about that, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean,
I, I don't think
I
he
think
gives a shit about it.
I think his main brand is WWE, but I would not be surprised if he has watched Impact, New Japan, Mexico. I mean, he just can't. The thing about it is he can't be a fan like we are because he really has an insanely busy schedule, being like this huge star. So
Yeah.
he's got to be
Um,
do Sunday Night Live. So, but for being an insanely busy star and a huge schedule and not a wrestler, I thought the match was one of the best matches I've ever seen.
you know, I think the reason why he's such a big star and he's doing everything is because it hasn't consumed his life like ours. Can you imagine what you could be doing with your life if you weren't this obsessed with wrestling? I sometimes think about that, about my own
Well,
life.
I only watch. I only watch like if I'm like tonight, I'm not gonna watch NXT.
No, no, no. I'm not talking about right now. You're think about, dude. There was a time period where you're going to all these indie shows. You're just the fact of how much time and energy and effort and our own like money and our finances and our time that we put into just wrestling. Dude, there's a reason why Bad Bunny is probably. I don't think Bad Bunny. I think he
Well, Bad
spent
Bunny.
building
So
his
it's
career and
well,
doing
I'll tell
this.
you, SmackDown. Bad Bunny wore a very rare WWF wrestling shirt, like a racing. I'm sorry, wrestling. WWF racing when they had a racing team. WWF. It
Huh?
said WWF on it. I don't know if you saw this, but it's like a very rare shirt. This collector, it's like a $400 shirt on the secondary market. So he had to. There's no way he got that when it was new, right? There's no way when he's like this little kid in Puerto Rico. He's like, I want to do it. So he's enough of a fan to know about that shirt. And it's so funny because on the live SmackDown, you see the WWF logo. And then if you watch replays of that, if you go on YouTube, they blur out the logo on his shirt.
Or he's so wealthy because he's really wealthy, by the way.
Oh
He
yeah, I'm
has
sure. Like it was like someone said, and this is the rarest shirt or something. It's $400. Like
yeah.
give it to me because that's bling.
Yeah, I don't think he got that shirt knowing like what that shirt was. I think he got it just because it looks cool and it's the rarest WB
Well,
shirt.
Drake had the rare Razor Ramon shirt, and I'm convinced it's the same thing. Somebody said to him, "This is a
Yeah,
super
exactly.
Razor
You don't
Ramon."
need to be a super fan to get that shirt. You just need to be really wealthy.
People do like to do that. Like celebrities like to do that. Like this is a really like I'm wearing this Heart Foundation shirt, right?
Yeah.
But if I told Logan Paul like this Heart Foundation shirt was like $600, he'd be walking around in it like on his Instagram, like just like showing off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think we're splitting hairs at this point, regardless of what level fan he is.
He still kicked ass.
He's still kicked ass, and he definitely has a passion for WWE at least. 100%.
I want you to watch it because
Oh, I'm
it's
good.
very
I am
impressive
100%
for a
gonna watch
celebrity
it.
match. I'll say, but enough about Bad Bunny. Let's go to a time before there was any bunnies. He wasn't alive back then, but I was. January 1989. Angeli, give us some background on this date, Royal Rumble.
Yes. By the way, it is Royal Rumble 1989 taking place January 15th at Houston, Texas. In Houston, Texas, they said the attendance is 19,000, which is not bad,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So we get a start off with this.
Oh, first of all, before we get into
Yeah,
what you think of the event overall,
I liked it.
I liked it too. I did think that it was one of the weakest undercards for a Royal Rumble in history.
Some of the matches made me, yeah,
I mean, there weren't that many matches, so like you
yeah.
can't but let's get but the first match was not a weak match. Let's get
You
into
know
that.
what? Like, man, it's hard for me not to enjoy a Royal Rumble. It really is.
Well, the cool thing about Royal Rumbles too, when you get to like we'll get into when we get to the match. But like now years later, because a lot of these guys are dead, seeing like matchups you didn't realize, like people fighting that you didn't realize actually touched. Like just like little things like Ronnie Garvin versus Andre the Giant. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's kind of fun to see because that's the only match you're gonna see that. They never
yeah.
like fought ever before.
What
Or
is there in your head? Tails.
oh, Tales from the Dark Side was a TV show from the
I
'80s.
remember that TV show. Yeah, Tails on the Dark Side.
Art
Oh,
Foundation Hall of Fame show.
yes. That's the first match. We'll get into that.
Mm-hmm.
The show begins with like this graphic of like what the world is watching, right? That
Mm-hmm.
intro that WB used even till this day. I remember this graphic where they go through like
Yeah,
the like landscape and they go.
yeah,
It,
like
it
the
makes it
mountains.
look. It's a very even for 1989, it was a very modern like graphic,
Well,
and it made things look epic. It was it was when I was watching that because like this is the first time I'm seeing that graphic. I'm like, wow, in just a span of like 5 years,
mm-hmm.
their graphics have just evolved so much, right? Just
Yeah,
from WrestleMania 1 to this, it's great. It's amazing. Vince McMahon does a roll call of everybody who's basically going to be in the Royal Rumble. What do you call it? You could he seems like he's having so much fun just announcing every name, like Rugged Ronnie Garvin and like the Outlaw Ron Bass. Like he's going through each one and made me think like this is probably what Tony Khan does at home by himself with his own roster. It's like his own action figures. He's probably
yeah.
like, Adam Cole, Chris Jericho.
You know what also struck me at the Royal Rumble? How many people were like from other companies and now
Mm,
they're here, like the Rock, and now they're in this one big match. You know what I mean? It's like kind
yeah.
of crazy. Like there's so many NWA, AWA guys in this match. It's kind of funny, and
You
they're
know,
his now. They're his.
yeah, what's crazy about this is that you'll never see them do something like this again because back then it was about the stars and now it's about the brand.
They hardly tell you who's in the match now.
Yes, because it's about the brand. They want the biggest thing to be not any particular wrestler, but the initials
But
WWE.
but here's the deal. Everyone was so over, it made the brand stronger. That's what they don't
It did.
understand.
No, I think if they went back to emphasizing stars, their brand would be stronger, like it was here. But I think the reason why they don't want to do it is because they found out that wrestlers are assholes, and if they think they have any kind of pull to be extra difficult to work with, they're just like fuck this shit. But anyways, Gorilla Monsoon, Jesse Ventura, they're going to be on commentary to run down the card. Jesse Ventura is wearing this really nice, great white shark T-shirt. It's a simple T-shirt, but it's a great white shark, and I love it. We're going to go right into our first match, the two falls out of three match. Two
Three out
falls
of
out of three.
two out of okay, you got it right. I thought you said
Yeah, two out of three falls trios match, actually. It's the Rougeau brothers and Dino Bravo versus with Frenchie Martin and Jimmy Hart versus Jim Duggan and the Hart Foundation. Is this one of the first times they're rocking the pink and black?
no. I think they had the pink and black at SummerSlam '88.
Oh, okay. This is my first time noticing. Yeah, pink and black. This is now where they're fully good guys.
Mm-hmm.
Um, everybody in this match is Canadian, but Jim Duggan. But I like how everyone's shouting USA when the good guys
Yeah,
come out. Well, actually, that's not true. I guess Jim Neidhart.
Jim Neidhart is from Reno.
Yes. Duggan is super, super over, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would say he could be like at this point the second, or no, he'll be like the fourth most most popular good guy.
I think it's
Um,
tied with Jake the Snake. Still,
yeah, maybe probably right. Hey, also, was this the first time we're hearing that classic Hart Foundation Bret Hart theme?
no. It was played at SummerSlam, I believe.
Oh, okay. All right. So in this match,
He didn't have. They didn't have their own entrance.
mm-mm.
Like I don't think in any show actually. But '88 they did, and this music was played.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the falls happen. Bret Hart gets basically what looks like a dick in the face by Raymond for Raymond to the Rougeos get the first pin. Bret's in there for a very long time. He's basically getting his ass kicked and selling almost the entire match. Um, they're just beating on him. There's even like hot tags where refs not looking, and the ref goes, "Oh, Jim Neidhart, go back. I didn't see a tag." They do it so well. This is like the best examples of it I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Crowd super into it. They finally get a Duggan hot tag. Duggan explodes. He does two slingshot splashes, like he pulls in slingshots each Hart Foundation member, and then Duggan drops an elbow on Raymond Rougeau for the good guys to get one fall. So it's 1-1 apiece. And then Duggan basically, Bret's in there, and Duggan hits Bravo with the 2x4 behind the ref's back for Bret Hart to cover him for the second pin, so the good guys win. What did you think, Ray?
I really like this match, and I thought this was the first real showcase of Bret Hart on pay-per-view. Like we know what Bret Hart's going to become. They're telling us the excellent execution. The match with Demolition, that match with Demolition's okay. That Battle Royal at WrestleMania 4 is all right. I think he's in the he's in the '88 Royal Rumble, but I don't remember really what he does. And that fucking 10-man tag was just 20-man tag, where the fuck you want to call that Survivor Series match. Was kind of like nobody really stood out in that match. But this is the first time where I really feel like they're showcasing him, and he does a great job. He's in most of the match. Most of the match is him. The other two guys just come in for the finish.
This reconfirmed everything I always thought about Bret Hart as a wrestler. There's a reason why he's my very favorite. Like he's so fucking good. Like his selling is so good. There's even a point like after the second fall. Remember the second fall, he got his ass kicked the whole time, and he's still like on the apron, like half dead, and they're just like you can see like Duggan and like Jim going like, "Dude, do you think you're all right?" Like like they are no kayfabe, but it's done very well. I think Bret Hart. I think I agree with you. This is his first like real showing what he could do. He makes everything look so believable. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure, like, if you watch if we were watching primetime wrestling and the house shows they show, I'm sure you're gonna see like there's like a Bret Hart Ricky Steamboat singles match from '86. There's like Bret Hart had single match with Mr. Perfect around this time, but I'm talking like just on pay per view. This is the stuff that like people go back and look on. You watch this in order. This is like his coming out party, and like this is the guy to watch, keep your eye on. You're going to be cheering for Warrior, you're going to be cheering for Savage, Jake the Snake, but this is the real workhorse.
Yeah. My favorite part also in this is when Jesse Ventura keeps making Jim Duggan his stupid jokes.
Yeah, that was no. The whole thing was very good. And it didn't help that everyone in that ring is a great worker except for Dino Bravo. And I know people shit on Hacksaw on Jim Duggan. He's great at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that makes Bret Hart so good with Jim Neidhart and even with Jim Duggan is that because he's so good, they stand out. They compliment him because what they do means more. Because he knows when to have Jim Duggan or Jim Neidhart do something, and it means more. And they actually are elevated because Bret Hart knows how to use them in the match.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
By the way, we saw when you see Jim Duggan being stupid, his gimmick compared to Rick Steiner being stupid, dude, Jim Duggan does it way better.
Well,
You know?
Jim Duggan's way better than Rick Steiner. Sorry.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to admit that, but
Yeah.
I was gonna say something else. You know what I was thinking? I want to get your thoughts on the almost Seth Rollins match. I think almost is getting better, and I don't think AJ Styles was the guy, but almost needs a Bret Hart, not MVP, like a guy that knows when to use almost, like Bret Hart knew when to bring in Jim Neidhart, and I think almost will become like a huge superstar.
Possibly he's just too big to put in a tag team. I feel like it's a waste if you put him in a tag team.
Well,
Right?
I mean, he needs something. He needs something like because I just feel like
He needs good dance partners. Absolutely.
yeah, dude. I was in a chat and they weren't giving the Seth Rollins almost match is pretty good, and they'd be like, "It's all Seth. It's all Seth. Almost did nothing." And I said, "Bro, it takes two to have a good match. It
Yes,
really does."
absolutely.
I hate this thing where it's like where like you're giving almost no credit. And it's like, no, you have to give him some credit. Like he couldn't have this match a year ago that he had with Seth at Backlash.
Yeah, I thought his match with Brock wasn't bad either. You know?
This is way better. And it's like, it's not all Seth, dude. Like, if
He
almost was so bad, this match wouldn't be good.
Yes, yeah. And I think people got to give him some credit. Like he's green, but he's getting better. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets really good. Yeah.
It's kind of weird because he had to get better on TV where other people could get better like on the indies, but whatever.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. All right. So after the first match, they show you a video clip of DiBiase picking his Royal Rumble number. And he picks it and he's not happy with it. Then he gets Slick and he goes, Slick, you happy with your number? And they go off to make a deal. Then they show you other people who are picking their numbers. They show you Honky Tonk Man picks his number. He's not happy. He's all grumpy. Then they show you the Bushwhackers, and they're just stupid. Right? Then they show you Bad News Brown, and he's just a grump. He's just like, I don't care. I'm a loner. I don't like anybody. They show you Jake Roberts, and even the way he's like talking about his number is super creepy. He's like, oh yeah, like number. Then they show you the Rockers, and they're just like, yeah, I'm happy with my number. They're just very fair. I love it. Everybody has a different personality. I fucking love it. You don't, if you were watching this for the first time and you only
know who everyone is.
Yeah, you saw this montage of these characters picking numbers. You'll just know what kind of personality they have just from watching it. I fucking loved it. It was great.
Yeah. No, these were great.
Yeah, that was great. Match number 2 is for the women's title, or sometimes as they call it, the ladies' title. Rockin' Robin, the champion, versus Judy Martin. Before the match begins, Sherry Martel grabs the microphone and she goes, I don't even care who wins. I'm challenging the winner. And then Sherry Martel joins commentary. And as the match is going on, Gorilla Monsoon keeps bringing up France because, and somewhere in France, Sherry Martel lost the title to Rockin' Robin. and it's a great back and forth they're doing. The match, I don't give a shit about this match, but the commentary, it's
Oh, you
great.
like the comment?
Sherry,
I didn't like the commentary.
really, I liked it. That the fact that they're not going to show you the history between Rock and Robin and Sherry Martel, but the fact that if you don't know what happened, now you know what happened based on the commentary of like Gorilla Monsoon bringing it up, Sherry Martel being annoyed by it, and Jesse Ventura backing her up. Um, Basically, the finish happens when Rock and Robin goes to fakes a splash. Judy Martin falls down. Sherry laughs at this, which is really funny. And then Rock and Robin goes for a splash for the win, and then she wins. Okay. What did you think? You didn't like the commentary?
I didn't like the. I thought Sherry was very annoying in the commentary. I just thought like she didn't know when to shut up. She was kind of stepping over these two guys. She kind of almost ruined their chemistry. You liked it, so must have done something right. I think this is where Vince got the idea of putting her with Randy, giving her more to do. Look,
Mm.
um, after this, she excels. When after WrestleMania 5, she goes on the run of her fucking life between her Macho Man and Shawn Michaels. Like it's like the greatest 3-year run anyone's ever had. But up until that point, any woman. But right now, I found it to be very annoying. And the match sucked. The match
The
just sucked.
match is
Look,
terrible.
if you want to go like, oh, why did it take Vince so long? The talent wasn't there, man. I hate to say that. The talent just wasn't there. Women weren't into this. Talent wasn't there. I mean, it is what it is, but you can't main event WrestleMania with Rock and Robin. Like if someone put a gun to Vince's head, you have to main event WrestleMania 6 with a female wrestler. There was no one there for him to do that.
It's
Sad.
funny you mentioned that because there's this point in this match where there's a botch,
Mm-hmm.
and Sherry goes, "What was that?" She points it out. You
Oh yeah,
hear
Sherry knew. You can tell Sherry knew, like, I'm the most talented person here by far.
It was so funny when she pointed out that botch. Oh, I was fucking dying. She goes, "What was that? Did you see that? What was that?" And Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse are trying to like, they're trying to ignore, like, oh, well, like, but
Yeah.
she called out a botch on commentary. It's so funny, dude. I thought she came off really well in this. Her personality was,
I bet you. I think a lot of people agree with you because she becomes one of the
yeah.
top stars after
Yeah,
this.
yeah, but this match, man, like literally nobody cares about this
This
match, and
match
it
was fucking.
wasn't that good. Rockin' Robin, who is Jake Roberts' like sister,
Mhm.
she is also like she's in shape, but she looks like she has no muscle mass at all. Like she was so skinny, and I
None
was
of
like, I
these,
didn't believe her as
all of
anything.
these women look just that's why Medusa stood out the AWA because she's the only one who looks like a modern day star.
Medusa, Sherry Martel,
Mhm.
and I'm assuming some of these female wrestlers in Japan. But the only problem is, if you can't speak English, they're not going to be bringing you over. They
And
already
nobody
brought over
nobody
the
was going to
Dusty Von
care
Linden. Yeah.
about. So, by the way, in a year or two, they have a New Japan or All Japan a female match on a WCW show, and literally they're doing stuff that like Kenny. I heard about this. Conrad and Jr. were talking about it, so I'm excited for you to see it. But they're doing stuff that Kenny Omega does now, and nobody gives a fuck. Like literally nobody. The whole crowd just doesn't even pay attention to the match. So they weren't ready
Man,
for
so
Japanese female wrestlers like that.
here's, yeah, that's true. And I guess remember we just watched the AWA Super Clash.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think any of those uh what was it called? Wow or Pow or something like
I
that?
think if he had gotten
Ivory?
Ivory and Medusa in '89, yes, he could have done something with them. But how many times are you gonna have Medusa, Ivory, and Sherry fight?
What
And
about the
look at Shawn.
terrorists? We could have got the terrorists.
The terrorist. I don't think. I think at that point, like he wanted nothing to do with the terrorist. Even if he changed their name and like changed their character completely, I don't think he. I think
What
she was.
about Peggy Sue Leather? Was her name Peggy Sue Leather? I liked her
You know
too.
what? If
Man,
Hacksaw Jim Duggan turned heel, she'd be a good valet for Hacksaw.
I was about to have a good Christmas. All of a sudden, uh, Vince McMahon buys out the AWA, and now I can't get him a bonus. Finally thinking I was gonna have a good Christmas. I fucking love that line. It made me feel so bad for her. I was like, she's just a working woman and she just wants
That's
to
what
make money.
that's
It's
what these
great.
women wrestlers were. None
Yeah.
of them could be famous.
You know, right after this match, they showed some kids playing with those big LJN
Mhm.
action figures. I love that. It was cool. I was like, I used to have those.
Yeah, those
They
are.
were,
I still have my Hogan.
they are heavy.
I know they are. If you
Like,
threw that in another kid's head, you could fuck them up. Dude,
oh yeah.
did you ever feel the King Kong Bundy?
No, is it
The King
really
Kong
heavy?
Bundy could be a weapon.
Really, yeah.
It's that heavy. Like if I got into if I had that figure on me and someone attacked me, I could probably seriously hurt them with that figure.
I remember hurting my fingers playing.
Yeah.
Because you know you're the wrestler, so you would bash them, and then
Mhm.
you would just drop it on your own finger. Oh, it hurt so bad. Um, they show you a hype video for WrestleMania 5, and they're gonna do this throughout the show, which is genius already, right?
Yeah,
That's already
now they do it all the time. Yeah, but they
yeah.
did this the first one.
John Mooney, he's with Slick, and then he's Slick with Twin Towers, and then he's like, "Hey, let me show you the footage of what you were doing, Slick, when you're talking to DiBiase." And Slick's like, first he was like, $1 Million Man, I don't know who that is. And they show you the video. He goes, oh, that guy? I thought you were talking about this other guy, Ted DiBiase or whatever. And he's like, nah, that's nothing. This video shows nothing, which technically Slick is right. It didn't really show you anything. It just implied, but didn't
Mhm.
actually show any transaction, which I liked. What did you think about that?
It's just funny. I don't know no Ted DiBiase. He's literally on every show you're on, and you don't know this. I don't
I
know.
I know they still do stuff like this every once in a while, but I love it when they do stuff like this. Remember that one year when like Eddie Guerrero stole Ric Flair's number at the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, yeah. I also like the bad guys are kind of like friends and the good guys are
Yes.
friends. They
Hmm.
don't do that anymore, bro. Last night, like Seth Rollins came out for a match and he saw Cody and he was like a dick to Cody, and I'm just like, it would be cool like if like they were like I know like they didn't resolve the angle between the two of them, but like I don't know, it'd be cool if like all the good guys were friends again. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
They
yeah, it would
dabbled
be
in it a little bit with this Sammy, Kevin, Cody dynamic, but then they forgot about it.
you know, I don't wanna I mean, like, I know you're not gonna like this, but you know who does do this a lot more is actually AEW. They
They do it,
actually
but they
do
don't do
do
it enough.
that. They don't do it enough as well, yeah, but they do it more than WB. I will have to
Yeah,
admit
no,
that.
I'm not gonna say they don't. They do. They do.
Yeah. Now comes what I thought was one of the most boring parts of the show.
Oh boy.
Mean Gene Okerlund's in the ring, and he's going to introduce the intros for the Super Pose Down. We get Rick Rude with Bobby Heenan versus basically Ultimate Warrior. This is not a match. They're doing poses for their muscles to see who has a better body. Rick Rude, the first pose is the double bicep. Second is the best abs. Third is the most muscular. And fourth is the medley. At the end, while Ultimate Warrior's posing, Rick Rude beats him up with this bar thing that he has. He just beats him up and then runs away. And then Warrior wakes up and he beats up all the suits, like the referees and stuff like that. I did not care for this.
I hated this. They could have done this in half the time.
Oh my god, yes.
I get they didn't want to. I get that he was saving the match for WrestleMania, and he didn't want to have Warrior lose to Rick Rude here.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there had to have been a better way to start this angle than this. It could have been done so much faster. It should have been like, I don't know, like Warriors getting an award or something, and then Rude runs down and beats him up. I don't know. It just took. You knew he was going to attack Warrior, and it took way too long to get to that.
Yes, it took way too long.
Like
Maybe you could have just
nobody
had this
thought like
guy
they're going to
do
be
the
like Warrior
Rumble.
wins and Rude's going to be like cool and leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe they could have just been in the Rumble together and then they both eliminate each other and they just keep fighting. I have no idea.
Well,
Just
yeah, I don't know, but
this
there was
took
a
way
better,
too long. This took
way
way
too
too
long,
long.
and
Yeah,
it's not
way too long.
entertaining.
Not entertaining at all. Yes.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad they don't do shit like this anymore, you know?
Yeah, well, they might. You never know.
Uh
No,
this is
now
like
they do it on Raw. They do it on Raw.
yeah, I guess. This was like the when they had the Dino Bravo like bench pressing and shit. I was like, this
You
is
know
like
what's the worst part? You think about it, like, so like there's a rumor that in 2026 they want to get off Peacock or charge $60 for the show, and I'm like, no one's gonna pay $60 for your shows. Like that's over. Like we're all just gonna you know what I mean? Like you've already fucked that. You know, you can't go
Yeah.
from $5 to $60, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
but can you imagine spending like $30, $40 on this show and then there's like a 20-minute pose down? Like they're not even wrestling. They're not even it's not even like it'd be one thing if they were like doing interviews and Bobby
So
Heenan was being funny. Bobby Heenan is standing there while they're fucking posing like idiots. I
yeah,
didn't
and Ocean is like really bad at it too. Like,
Yeah.
because he's doing his posing while he's doing his gimmick, so he's just like, he's going crazy, like,
He's not really doing like
he's like posing and going,
yeah, like Rude is actually beating him. And it just takes it should have been like one or two poses and then not four fucking poses.
Yeah, this is really bad. This is really bad. We get promos from not the wrestlers this time, but the managers of the wrestlers. We get promos from Mr. Fuji, Miss Elizabeth, Jimmy Hart, and you get actually see the characters of the managers as well. And what's interesting is this: not only do the wrestlers have different personalities, the managers all really have different personalities, which I also
Mm-hmm.
really like. Mr. Fuji spoke better English than I was expecting. I was surprised.
Yeah, so I think it's a gimmick that he can't speak English. So.
Yeah. They showed Jesse Ventura. He's sitting on the throne and he's going to introduce the next match. Basically, what happened was this: Haku stole the crown or the king title from Harley Race. So even though these two guys are both from the same team, which is the Heenan family, they're going to have a wrestling match for who gets to keep the crown. This is match number 3. Haku, who's carried around with a bunch of jobbers. One jobber is like super fat, looked like Ace Romero from Impact Wrestling. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. Versus Harley, who just walks down. As soon as Harley Race comes down, he just like dumps Haku from the thing. I look super dangerous. And they start wrestling. Nobody's caring about this match because they're both bad guys.
Yeah,
Haku, yeah,
I thought like when I was a kid, and from what I remember, I could have swore like Harley Race was a good guy in this match, but like he's still bad. Like they have Heenan like doing this "I'm gonna root for both sides" thing. Like when Harley wins, he starts cheering for Harley.
I think he's supposed to be like a good guy, but it's not like he's not like a
It's a
popular
horrible
good guy.
match.
Yeah, it's
It's a
horrible.
horrible match. I don't care. Everyone says Harley Race is so fucking great. Good for you. This match sucked.
Yeah, you know what? This is Harley Race not in his prime.
Yeah, well,
Way
this
past.
is the final. This is like one of his final matches. He does this, and he goes. This is his last match. He never wrestles in WWF again after this. So.
Yeah, there's a whole when they're fighting, Haku just makes way too much noise in the ring. He's constantly going like hata, hata, hata,
Yeah.
and then he thrust kicks Harley Race right in the face. Really good kick, by the way. For the win, Haku retains the crown. This match is way too long. Really low point of this card so far.
Yeah, the Hart Foundation match was great, and then the card
Yes.
just fell off a cliff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we get more promos from for the Royal Rumble from Brutus Beefcake, Jim Diamond, Greg the Hammer, Valentine, Mr. Fuji with the Powers of Pain, Big John Studd, Mr. Perfect, and the Macho Man. Then we get Mean Gene with DiBiase and Virgil, and they cut a promo. Sean Mooney cuts a promo with the entire Heenan family. This is like the Brainbusters and Andre the Giant. And then Mean Gene does an interview promo segment with Hulk Hogan, who calls out Macho Man about, hey, even though we're tame, it's every man for himself. Once again, I love these. These are fantastic.
Yeah, this is like the best part of the show. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get right into the Rumble. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go spot by spot, like just moment by moment, and use interject whenever you want. Okay. The Rumble begins with Axe and Smash as number 1 and number 2.
This was
And
great. By the way, did you notice what was at stake here? They mentioned it when Axe and Smash were beating each other up.
money.
Money, yes. So like that, I'm like, all right, that's a good logical reason why they would actually try to beat each other up.
No, I don't think so. I think this made him look stupid.
No, see, because like if you throw him out, that's one less guy you have to worry about.
Yeah, but you guys, okay, so I know
Well,
everybody loves
here's the
this.
other thing. This is the other
I
thing.
hate this.
The demolition. These guys are such brawlers. They're such like they will fucking fight each other if you tell them to. Like they just like to fight.
I guess I thought it made them look stupid.
I don't know. I think I always thought it was a cool visual that a tag team's actually like fighting.
I think a lot of people think it's a cool visual because I remember even in WWE they like the documentaries they mentioned this like how cool it was when like
Mhm.
actors smash fought, but to me it always came off like really dumb, like Jim Duggan stupid.
Well, they
Like
stop as soon as Andre gets in.
yeah, but that's why it's even stupider. How about this? You're a tag team. You're like, hey, you know, there's like 100 grand on the line. How about this? We work together. We eliminate everybody as they come in, and then at the end, one of us eliminates one of us, and then we split the fucking money. Like, I don't know.
Well, like I think the other thing you're forgetting is like tag teams didn't do this back then. Like nowadays, like I'm sure like within a week, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will be hitting each other.
Yeah,
It was like a big deal for a tag team to start wailing on each other, like, but then be friends right again. Like it didn't
yeah, I
happen.
guess it
It was
didn't. You know, like the when okay, so when Axe comes out and everyone's like, "Who's gonna be number two?" And then when Demolition Music plays again and Smash comes out, only if you go back and watch it, only Gorilla Monsoon's went crazy.
yeah.
Like the crowd isn't really, they don't really care.
Well, because they still don't. I don't think a lot of people saw that first Rumble, so they still don't know what's gonna happen.
Oh, okay. Probably.
Remember, like we're used to it. So like if Jimmy Uso's in the ring, right, alone,
Yeah.
and it's number 30, and it's Jay Uso, the crowd's gonna go ballistic because they know what's gonna happen. Jimmy and Jay have to fight. This year's gonna go to WrestleMania, but none of these people really know about this fucking match. They don't really know what's gonna happen. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, that's
they
possible.
figure it out as it keeps going. But
Yeah. Okay.
mhm.
Andre is number three, and when he comes in, the Demolition stop being stupid, and they decide to double team Andre. They do knock him down, which gets a huge pop because remember, Andre falling down was
Mhm.
still a big effing deal. And
This
when
is
Demolition knocked him down, crowd went, "Oh shit!"
well because this is back in the day where tag teams were like seen as a threat. So like Axe alone isn't a threat, Smash alone isn't a threat, but together they're
Yeah,
unbeatable. Like you
absolutely,
would think Hogan would lose to Demolition.
absolutely, yeah,
Now tag teams are like they're just two idiots who can't get it done. That's why they're a tag
yeah.
team.
Mhm. Um, Number four is Mr. Perfect. And after Mr. Perfect comes in, Andre eliminates Smash, who is out first. Number five is Rugged Ronnie Garvin, and number six is Greg the Hammer Valentine. Andre eliminates Garvin right away.
Did you
So
note?
Garvin is
So
number
there's a
two.
couple of things to notice.
Yes.
There, it in the ring was a former WWF champ in Andre, a former AWA champ at Perfect, and a former NWA champ in Ronnie Garvin. And look who gets thrown out like a bitch by a WWF champion.
Mm,
There's
Ronnie
all
Garvin.
these little like signals that happen in this match to let you know that even though you're with me now, you're not as good as my guy.
I didn't think about that, but that's a very good point. Yeah, he
Yeah.
gets eliminated pretty much right away, and they do mention that too. I think Jesse Ventura mentioned he just got thrown out right away. Garvin is sporting yellow, and I'm thinking like, dude, you gotta that's Hogan's thing. You gotta knock that out. You know?
Well, Garvin. Well, he switches to red eventually, I think. But
Yeah, I'm sure they talk to him. Like, hey, you know why you got eliminated? Because you're wearing fucking yellow. Learn who the fucking like you're not, you don't do that when you're in a wrestling company. You don't.
this is why I think like I'm glad Ric Flair didn't go in '88 because I think Ric Flair would have been thrown out like that by Andre.
That's true. I think he would have been. I think he would have
Yeah,
been. I think
make a point.
Junior has shown many times that he's super petty. He would do that.
Mm-hmm.
Number seven is Jake Roberts, who is at this point the first good guy to enter this
No,
Rumble.
Demolition's a good guy at this
Oh, are
point.
they good guys in this? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, they
they
are.
turned
They
good at
are good
Survivor
guys.
Series. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Forgot they are. Jake Roberts comes in, and right away he goes for Andre, and Andre just basically beats the shit out of him right away. Starts choking him out, beating him. Number eight is a bald Ron Bass who got his head shaved by Brutus Beefcake, I think, right?
Yeah. At the end of their feud, this is right before Ron Bass left. So
Yeah. And then Andre eliminates Jake Roberts right away. So Jake Roberts is eliminated third.
Mhm.
Then number 9 is actually where I first noticed that people started doing the countdown with the clock.
Yeah, because now they're figuring it out.
Yeah, the beginning, if you're watching this, there's a little like countdown, 10-second clock countdown, but people aren't counting down with it. But around number 9 is when they really start counting down with it. And it is Shawn Michaels, one of the Rockers. People love him.
Dude, he
Mr.
got a big pop.
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, I was a Rockers fan. I
But
was.
like for 89, Shawn Michaels, that was a pretty good pop. And he, at that point, he's in the ring with a lot of guys he never really had matches with. And that's when I'm like, this is a cool match because this is like, it's just so cool, like to see these guys together. I never
Yes.
thought I'd see a lot of these guys together like this.
Yeah, because Shawn Michaels is from AWA, right?
Yeah, but like also like he, it's not like him and Andre. He did. Andre dies before he becomes a big star, so he never. And like who else is it? Greg Valentine? There's just like a lot of Kurt Hennig. There's just a lot of cool interactions that he's having. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mr. Perfect eliminates Axe for the 4th elimination. And number 10 is Butch Whacker. One of the
Butch.
Bushwhackers. Bushwhacker, yeah. Jake Roberts somehow returns with the snake and he scares Andre the Giant so much that Andre eliminates himself for the 5th elimination.
Yep.
So they're probably gonna have a match at WrestleMania.
I kind of felt bad for Andre after a while. Like he shouldn't have been in the ring that long. He looked so fucking tired by the end.
Yeah, he was resting a lot, and he's giant. But yeah, he was. He got out of there
Yeah,
fairly
good way
quickly,
to
I
a smart
guess.
way to get out of it. It makes Jake strong. It makes Andre and Jake both look strong in their feud.
Yeah. Number 11 is Honky Tonk Man. Number 12 is Tito Santana. Number 13 is Bad News Brown. Honky gets eliminated by Tito Santana and Butch Whacker. Now, for 6th elimination.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Honky gets pretty much eliminated right away. Number 14 is Marty Jannetty, who also gets a huge pop. And Ron Bass gets a double drop kick by the Rockers, and he's eliminated 7th.
Get him out of here,
Yeah, Marty Jannetty also got a huge pop. They love the Rockers.
Rockers are great.
Yeah. Macho Man comes in at number 15. He doesn't even remove his sunglasses. He just goes right in and starts attacking Bad News Brown right away.
Mm-hmm.
Number 16 is Arn Anderson. And then Greg the Hammer Valentine gets thrown out by Randy Savage.
Mm-hmm.
And then Arn Anderson and Macho Man together eliminate Shawn Michaels at number 9, which I thought was really
that's interesting. See, like stuff like that is very interesting. Like that's
yeah.
fun.
See, that was what I was saying. See, this is the things I do wish they would still do, where a bad guy and a good guy work together to eliminate someone because they know the name of the game is just get rid of people, right?
Yeah,
So
but it's like also fun to see those 3 guys wrestling together.
yeah. And they're not like constantly working together. They're just like at the moment we're like, dude, we're both in a position where we could just like get rid of this one dude. So let's do it, and then we part ways. That was pretty cool. There's a moment right after this where everybody is fighting everybody, like they're all tied up with each other, and except for Bushwhacker, who just decides to do his fucking march around the ring. Just see that? Everyone else is fighting, and he does his stupid walk just in the ring, like in a circle. I was dying, man. He's not wrestling, he's just marching in the ring. It was so funny. It was like number 17 is Tully. Tully comes in and he eliminates Marty Jannetty at number 10. 18 is Hulk Hogan, who comes in and eliminates Mr. Perfect at 11 right away.
Yeah.
AWA
champion. Hogan
what?
throws him out. AWA champion Hogan throws him out.
Yeah, that's a good point. Also, by this point, I should make it clear. Macho Man is actually the champion, the WWF champion.
Yes, he's a champion.
Point, he's in this is different from future Royal Rumbles. The champion is actually in the Royal Rumble. You're not getting a title shot at Royal.
You're not getting anything. You're getting money.
Yeah, you're just getting money. But so Hogan's not the champion. He's in there. Macho Man is the champion. He's in there. Macho Man eliminates Tito Santana at 12, which was surprising as well. Then Hogan is almost getting eliminated, and they make a point that on commentary that Macho Man is not helping him out, right? And the crowd's super into this match at this point, right?
Yeah.
Number 19, Luke Whacker is now in the ring. And as he comes in, Bad News eliminates Butch Whacker at number 13.
Mm-hmm.
Number 20, Coco Beware comes in for a big pop. He got a big pop, nice tights. And you know what happened? Hogan eliminates Coco Beware at 14. I was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? So you have back-to-back good guys eliminating good guys. Hogan also eliminates Luke Whacker. And then 21 comes in the Warlord.
Mm-hmm.
Um, now, Hogan
He set the record for the fastest elimination Warlord.
Warlord, yeah. So this is what happens. So Warlord's walking to the ring, right? He's just walking. And as he's walking to the ring, Hogan eliminates Arn and Tully at the same time at 16 and 17. Then Warlord gets up on the apron. And then he steps over the ropes, turns around, and then he gets eliminated by Hogan at 18. So this was like, I don't even think it's like a 1 second entry into the Rumble, right? It
I'm
was
sorry.
really cool. I don't even think it's
Really
like a 1 second entry. He just like gets in and then boom, he gets eliminated right away.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Bad News is working on Macho Man, and Bad News is trying to throw out Macho Man, and Hogan comes and he eliminates both of them at 19 and 20.
You mean
And
the Brainbusters?
no. Hogan eliminated the Brainbusters as Warlord is coming to the ring. And as soon as he eliminates the Brainbusters, Warlord gets in the ring and Hogan eliminates
Here's
him.
my other point. Here's my other point to you real quick about Vince sending messages. So all throughout the 80s, everyone's like, yo, imagine if the Horsemen fought Hogan. Oh, Hogan couldn't stop the Horsemen. The Horsemen were crazy. And he takes the two besides Flair, he takes the other two top horsemen and eliminates them together. And he makes it look like it's no sweat. They were not a problem for him. They're just two fucking jobbers. And again, that's another message. Hogan basically Vince is saying if Hogan had to fight the Horsemen, they would have been fucking bitches to him. You know?
Yeah. I mean, he's Hogan's humongous size wise. So and like let's be honest, Arn and Tully weren't big dudes.
I know.
So even visually, if I was watching these two guys beat up this giant dude, I would be like, I don't believe this shit.
But fucking dude, like still Ric Flair and Arn Anderson like to do this fucking like I've heard them like, can you imagine if the Horsemen came into WWF? Oh, we could have beat up the Mega Powers and it would have been biz. No, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. If fucking can you imagine these four dummies walking out like shut up. Anyway, another message sent. Don't think that wasn't a message. That was a message sent.
You know what? Yeah, these things I wasn't even aware of these things, but I think they all make sense. You're 100% right. It does make sense. So in this match now, it's Bad News Brown, Hogan, and Macho Man. Bad News Brown is working on Macho Man, trying to eliminate him, and Hogan eliminates both of them.
Yeah.
So he's standing in the ring alone, and Macho Man looks pissed the fuck off. He comes back into the ring, he gets right in Hogan's face, like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And Liz comes in and she's trying to cool them off. Remember, these are the Mega Powers. She's like, come on, guys, let's not fight. And she gets them to somehow shake their hands. This is a cool moment. Yeah, they shake hands. Macho Man hugs him and goes, all right, dude, I get it. And he leaves. Very cool moment, though. It's very cool. Number 22 is Big Boss Man. He comes in and there's a big face-off because Boss Man and Hogan, it's like a match people want to see. 23 is Akeem. And Akeem and Bossman, they beat the crap out of Hogan, and guess what? They eliminated Hulk Hogan at 21.
Never happened back then.
Yeah, this is crazy. And Hogan is such a sore loser that he pulls Bossman out of the ring, beats him up, and they're all still fighting. And Jesse Ventura's going 8. He's going like, what's Hogan doing? What a sore loser. He's already been eliminated. Get the hell out of here. What are you doing? Why is he messing with Bossman? Beefcake comes in at 24. He starts attacking Akeem. Bossman re-enters the ring, and then as he's running the ropes, Hogan pulls down the ropes to eliminate Bossman at 22, and Hogan and Bossman, they start fighting their way to the back. Jesse Ventura calls foul on that, how Hogan wasn't even in the Rumble. He was eliminated. He shouldn't have been allowed to do that. And I will agree, Jesse Ventura was spot on commentary.
Hogan looks like Hogan does not look like good, and it looks like he's turning heel in this match. I mean,
Yeah,
he
dude.
throws out the bushwhackers. He throws out
Coco Beware.
Hogan Beware. He cost Savage the match,
Uh
and then when he
huh.
gets eliminated fair and square, he's complaining like Savage. I did it fair and square. What? So like the Twin Towers didn't cheat. They beat you fair and square, and then you fucking have a meltdown. Like
Yeah,
he comes across very bad in this match, and
he does. Were they doing that on purpose?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't because like he's the good guy going into WrestleMania 5, and like he's the good guy for years. They never turn him heel, but he's acting like a complete fucking heel in
Yeah,
this
he
whole
is.
match.
This whole match, yeah, he's acting. And here's the thing, though: the crowd is going ape for
Yeah.
everything he's doing, and
Mhm.
they're just eating it up. And I wonder if they were like, "Dude, there is nothing he can do that will get these people to hate his guts." Right? And I feel like they were doing it just to fuck around.
Also, I think Hogan had a lot of Satan's creative back then. And if you notice, like even in WCW, he like purpose because he had complete control in WCW. He kind of makes his character kind of selfish a lot, even when he's supposed to be a good guy. Which is kind of like a weird thing to do. But I think I don't know, it's weird.
I mean, dude, like Hogan's such a magnetic personality. I think he could get away with doing a lot of
Yeah,
things.
well, I think also like
But he
Hogan's
got
like
there. He even said the N word, and there were still people who were backing him up. That was
well,
insane.
because it's Hulkamania, brother. Come on.
It's insane.
Yeah, it was this is when this Rumble match gets bad though. The minute Hogan's eliminated, I didn't like the
Oh,
rest.
it's not just Hogan though, because number 25 comes in Red Rooster. This crowd is dead because Hogan's gone.
All the stars are
Macho
gone.
Man is gone. Right? It's like,
Andre's gone. Jake is gone.
yeah, Coco Beware is gone. I
The
mean, like,
Rockers.
yeah,
It's very like, why did you? It's really weirdly booked. But keep going. Yeah, the Red Rooster
Tito
walks out.
Santana's gone. Anybody who's like a fan favorite is not in this match anymore, right?
Yeah,
So it's Red Rooster. 26 is Barbarian. Uh, and what do you call it? I think Red Rooster and Beefcake are trying to eliminate Akeem, and Barbarian comes in. And Akeem's a big fat dude.
yeah.
And like you would think first it looks like Barbarian is like gonna help him throw out Akeem, and then he starts beating up Red Rooster and Beefcake, and Gorilla Monsoon starts calling him stupid, which is really funny. Like, don't call him stupid. This guy is stupid. He
Yeah.
is stupid. It was really stupid. 27 is Big John Studd. 28 is Hercules. 29 is Rick Martel, who gets a little bit of a pop. And then number 30 is DiBiase. Red Rooster is thrown out at 23 by DiBiase. DiBiase and Barbarian, they both work together to dump out Hercules and Brutus the Barber Beefcake at 24 and 25. The Barbarian is thrown out by Rick Martel at 26, and then Rick Martel is thrown out by Akeem at 27. So the three remaining people in the ring: Akeem, Ted DiBiase, and Big John Studd.
Yeah.
Akeem is thrown out by Big John Studd, and it's left to DiBiase and Big John Studd. And DiBiase's like, "Oh, playing the cowardly heel, I'll give you money." And all of a sudden, the crowd. This is when the crowd actually gets back into it. Okay, so after Hogan leaves, the crowd's dead the whole time in this Rumble until now. And
Mhm.
then Big John Studd wins. The crowd goes crazy. Virgil attacks him. Big John Studd beats the crap out of him and eliminates him too for good measure. And that's how the show ends. What did you think about this entire Rumble and the finish? Talk about the finish first.
Yeah, it was great until Hogan gets eliminated, and then it's like really. I kind of get. Look, he's not. So we look at the Rumble now differently than however they were looking at it back then.
Yes. Yeah.
I think he got Big John Studd back in, and the goal was for him to have this big feud with Andre. He leaves only like 3 months later. Andre chases him out, right? So I kind of get that, like, all right, let's have Hogan has to have this beef with Boss Man and Savage, and I know where I'm going with that, so no worries. So let's get over Big John Studd because now we're gonna redo that feud. I brought this guy back.
Mm-hmm.
and I want to get my money's worth on this guy. So, but I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't have big. I would have had Big John Studd, and I would have had Big John Studd like eliminate on like they do a double elimination or something. I don't know. It's just I get it, but also like, and I guess if Big John Studd doesn't leave and doesn't drop dead 5 years later, it's a smart booking decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he did leave, and he didn't do anything, and it kind of like it leaves you very. The ending's very flat. The
It
ending's
is very flat for a
the
Royal
ending's
Rumble.
very flat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
It almost felt like, remember at this point, Big John Studd, he was away for the company for like 2 years, and he comes back, and I feel like this was like Vince McMahon's promise, like, dude, I'm gonna give you a big push, I promise you, and it's
yeah.
like I'm gonna have you win the Royal Rumble, and
And I mean, like, hey, you know what? He's still in the video packages. So like winning the Rumble was almost better than winning the title because he's still in stuff. Like they still show videos of this on the when they show like the history of the Rumble. You know what I mean? So
supposedly he left second time because he was not happy with what he was getting paid.
according to Bruce Pritchard and Vince, Andre chased him out. But
That's also a possibility, but I feel like at this point he probably couldn't because Andre was. I don't know if he was physical. I think if they fought, Big John Studd would beat the crap out of
no, Andre took liberties of him in the ring. That's why he left. Bruce Pritchard.
him.
But no, it was honestly, I would have had Hogan just win this. I mean, I know it's predictable, but like, I just would have had Hogan win, and then at the end, Savage comes out and points to him. Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, I
It's a
feel
very
like
flat. Or I would have had Hogan. I would have had the whole thing. I would have had the whole thing with Hogan and like Macho Man, Boss Man, Akeem happen towards the end.
yeah, not like in the middle of I
Yeah.
get a little okay, it wasn't the middle, it was I guess technically after the middle, but it was still way too early. It was
It
just
basically
like
feels the match is over once Hogan leaves.
yeah,
I won't
yeah,
watch the
once that whole thing where this is what they should have done.
mm-hmm.
Like Hogan should have eliminated Bad News and Macho Man at the end, and then like at the end, like Macho Man comes in and just confronts. That should have been the ending.
Yeah.
That really should have been. And
You know what?
it, go ahead.
I think these first two Rumbles, I think he's like, well, it doesn't matter who wins, but I think he used winning the Rumble as a way to like push somebody new because
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
like to give them like a little feather in the cap that they could use going forward.
Yeah, it's just probably why they had probably like Big John Stud win or something like that,
Yeah, because
right?
he's like, well, I'm not gonna have Macho Man win because he's already the champ, so he doesn't
Yes,
need it.
yeah.
But Big John Studd
I'm not
needs
gonna
it,
have Hogan win because he's already super over,
and
right?
I already know that he's gonna main event.
Yeah.
So it's probably, and I could see like if you said, well, the Rumble's no longer for the title shot. We already know that Cody's gonna fight Roman at, let's say, next year WrestleMania. I could see using the Rumble to like put over Braun Breaker or Johnny Gargano, like just to like be like, okay, since they're not getting anything, like we're just they're getting like I don't know like a fucking trophy. Give it to someone that will really help elevate them.
Yeah, I would like to in a way, this is the one Rumble where you don't the guy you're not really expecting to win kind of wins it, right?
Yeah, I
I
would like
guess.
that to come back. I do
Yeah.
think they need to do that one more year. I think they need to have
Yeah, yeah.
someone to win.
Like if they did it now, I'm trying to think of what would the equivalent of like Big John Stud winning be now? It would be like
Not almost.
not almost just because he's a big, but like Big John Stud.
Dexter Loomis.
Yeah, it would be like somebody just like I guess this guy could always be a challenger, but he's never gonna win the big one. Like feel, and
Yeah.
then like he all of a sudden just wins, and it's kind of weird, but it's weird, but it's also at the same time kind of cool because you
Well,
rarely
now
see this shit,
it would be
right?
exciting because, like, let's say this year, like, all right, guys like that, like, okay, let's say
It would
this
be
year,
like
like, either
Otis winning.
Ricochet or Dexter Loomis won this year, right? Then it's like, what is the storyline going to be now? Because that's fucking crazy. That now
Yeah,
they've just committed to Dexter Loomis versus Roman Reigns.
yeah. I hate to say it. It's kind of like when Otis won the Money in the Bank, and then they realized
He
let's
didn't
just get
commit
it
to it
off.
though.
Yeah, they were like,
They,
let's just get it off. They were like,
dude, they
this was
should
a
have
mistake.
committed
Get
to
it
it.
off of them. Get off of them.
They should have committed to a Roman Reigns
They
Otis.
should have 100% committed to that. How funny, how great would it have been? You know?
Dude, especially knowing what we know now. Yeah. But that's the thing, like they should do that now. They should. So I think people would be excited. I do. I do.
Oh,
I think.
yeah.
I think people would be excited because now they know, like, especially with Roman having the belt. Because now it's like, why would you do this unless you're going to pull off an upset? Like, why would you have Dexter Loomis win this match? You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
they should do it again. But can you imagine if the main event of WrestleMania 5 was Big John Studd versus Macho Man?
Actually, that wouldn't be.
Would have been
You know
terrible.
what? Macho Man would make it work. You know? You
Mhm.
know what? I gotta mention this. I was listening to Talk Is Jericho, where they're doing him, Lance Storm,
And Alvarez, right?
Brian Alvarez. They're doing a watch along, one of these old 1980s main events on from WWF, and Chris Jericho mentioned a good point. He was talking about Honky Tonk Man, and he said, "Do you guys think Honky's a good worker?" And they were all like, "Yes." And Rick and Jericho made a point. He said he was a great worker, terrible wrestler. He said people don't understand that there's two: being
Mhm.
a worker and being a wrestler, two different things. And back then in the 80s, it was all about you being a worker and your wrestling was not really important. And now it's vice versa. And
Mhm.
they focus more on the wrestling. And then that's more important. And I think Jericho made a point that he likes the 80s style better, right? I think that is actually part of the reason, part of what the problem with today's wrestling is. They don't
Yeah.
focus on the working. They don't focus on the working. They focus on the wrestling only. You know?
Well, yeah, yeah, because that's why, like, people hate. I like this four pillars feud just because I like the fact these guys are getting a shot to like main event. Not so much Sammy Guevara, but the other three.
Mm-hmm.
But you can tell like Jungle Boy and Darby Allen have put no effort in being characters, and they can barely cut a promo. And like they're not getting better, and they're on national TV. They're on national TV every week, and they're not even trying to get better, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dude, William Regal. So I listened to William Regal's podcast, and he brought up a great. He goes on these like they'll ask about what was it like teaming up with Hunter in WCW, and he goes on these fucking unrelated rants, but sometimes they're really good. And he said like if he goes being a good talker is just as important as being a good worker. 10 minutes a day, you should talk in front of a mirror to yourself if you're not good at talking. 10 minutes a day, cut a promo. He goes, now you can film yourself. So there's no excuse not to go back and look at your promos because you can film yourself on your phone, watch it, see what you did right, see what you did wrong. He goes, if you can't give yourself 10 minutes a day, how are you going to how are you going to take MJF spot or CM Punk spot? Because their talking ability gives them the spot just as much as their wrestling ability.
I would even say more so.
Yeah. And then he brought up a great point. He goes, like, I don't find Seinfeld funny. That's what he said. I find Doug Stanhope funny. Seinfeld, I don't really get what he's trying to do. And he goes like, but like the reason why I don't like if you Seinfeld has his cadence where he doesn't care, but Stanhope cares. And he goes, so I would say to young wrestler, watch Doug Stanhope, don't watch Seinfeld, because that's the passion you need to bring if you want these spots. And he goes, and if you can't study other people's promos abilities, whether it's a comedian or a wrestler, and you can't practice your talking, then you're not going to get the spot. Doesn't matter how good your in-ring work
That's
is.
actually a terrible analogy that he used.
Well, I thought that was good.
Yeah, because it's like if you're if can you imagine you're a young wrestler and really Regal's like, you got to be more like Doug Stanhope and not like Serious Seinfeld. And I'll be like, you mean the guy who's like a billionaire? Don't follow him, but follow the
Yeah,
guy
but
who's
what
building
he's
his little
saying is
spot
that
show.
there's passion. A wrestler can't be that. Like what Seinfeld does is different. I think he doesn't get it because he's British, but Seinfeld's like very attached, observational. You can't
Yeah,
be detached in a wrestling promo. You have to be like, I want the belt. You can't be like, whatever. You know,
yeah, but that's such a like a bad way to like. It's just
I
like
know.
you're
Like
like,
he
oh,
doesn't
you mean
understand. He
yeah,
doesn't get.
yeah. But
But I
it
do agree. Like these guys, you're right. Like Honky Tonk Man was all about the character, and that's how he got his spot. And a lot of these guys, their promos are all like, I'm the best wrestler in the world. I'm the best wrestler in the world. And it's like,
Yeah, but Jericho was talking about being a worker in the sense that like he was like making a point about Honky and
Yeah,
saying like and Hogan because this is where that clip came where he goes like this is a clickbait, but I always thought Hogan was a way better worker than Flair
he is.
because it's all the things like looking at the crowd, right? Like knowing when to look at the crowd, what kind of face to make. You know, you're that's not wrestling. That's working, right? You're
Yeah,
working the audience's emotions and stuff. And he was
being
making a
entertained.
point like Honky was really good at that. He knew how to get you to not like him, right? How to make the good guys look strong, right? When to look like a coward, like a chicken shit, you know? When to look like a deceitful bastard and stuff. And I think these today, everybody is. Let me show you how cool I. Let me show you how many impossible moves I can do and how athletic I am that I could do these moves. But I'm not going to show any emotions of the impact of these moves. Like I'm not going to sell anything to make it look like it hurts. I'm just going to do these moves, you know. And it's kind of like I think I was pointing out, but I think that's what's wrong with a wrestling today. It's like yeah, where's the emotion? I'd rather see a guy wrestle 80s style. See, this is why people like FTR kind of in a way. They do kind of like the 80s style of like selling more and stuff like that, but whatever.
Um,
Jeff Jarrett does it the best, actually.
Jeff Jarrett does what?
He
I'll,
does a
I'll,
style of he does a style of wrestling that I like
look,
right now.
here's what I'll tell the wrestlers: a good matches now are a dime a dozen. Now that Logan Paul and Bad Bunny are having these matches,
Yes.
um, it doesn't impress me if you look like a hostage. If it was like a hostage when you're cutting a promo, I don't care if you have a good match anymore. You need to have more than that.
Yes,
Right now,
you
you
do.
need to
You
you
do.
need to be a character like the Warrior, Savage, and Honky Tonk Man, because, dude, like next thing you know, Taylor Swift's gonna have a fucking 6-star match. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on. That's not so much of a calling card. It's the intangibles. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, stop being a Jim Duggan. Stop being stupid
Yeah.
and be smart for once. Be a I don't know who's smart. Be
So
a be
listen,
a be a be a Hogan. Be a
be a
Hogan.
Hogan.
Hogan's smart. Yeah, he is smart.
So listen, next week,
Next week.
I have attempted to. I've never really sat down, but next week's a very important week. It is Chi-Town Rumble, the first Flair Steamboat match. Supposedly one of the greatest matches of all time. This is right up, and according to so many people, this is right up there with Kenny Omega Okada. Um, and
Really?
yeah, this is the greatest trilogy of matches supposedly of all time. I've never really seen it. This is match one. That is next week, Chi-Town Rumble. I'm excited because I've never seen this show. I've kind of stayed away from these matches. These matches, like, dude, Triple H on his DVD, one of the bonus features, his first DVD, when he got his first DVD, one of the bonus features was one of these matches. I think it was this match. Like that, and he basically said these are the matches that made him want to be a wrestler. These are probably one of some of the biggest matches of NWA WCW history. It starts next week. That's next week. Then the week after is WrestleMania 5, where the Mega Powers explode. Then 3 weeks after that is this third match. We're not going to see the second match during this journey. We're not watching Clash of Champions. The third match, Wrestle War 89 between Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat. Another match that's one of the greatest matches of all time. And then Great American Bash 89 is another match that's considered one of the greatest matches of all time, where Ric Flair takes on Terry Funk. So we have some big shows to cover the next few weeks.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see. Like, I hope he didn't. Yeah, there are some people who say that Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat, the Chi-Town Rumble
And
is listed as one of the greatest matches of all
you've never
time.
seen these matches, right?
I think I saw one of the matches on the Ric Flair DVD set that
Yeah,
had
one of
them.
them is on. They never did, and I'm surprised they never like put out like a DVD of just this trilogy, which I would have thought would be. You could probably put out now, and people would go buy it. Like the trilogy, these three matches. You know what I'm saying? They never did that, and I'm wondering why. I mean, you can watch it on the network, but it would be cool to just have a DVD of just those 3 matches because people go
It'd be
on it.
really funny if you're watching this match and one of the commentators is like, "We haven't seen a brawl like this since the Bunkhouse Stampede." Long Island.
But but yeah,
Still the worst
that's
match I've seen so far in these rewatches of the pay-per-views. That was
yeah,
the
no,
worst.
that's
Oh,
brutal.
that's brutal. Ah,
That's
so
brutal. But
long,
yeah, so
so unimportant.
it's gonna be an interesting few weeks. It's mainly WCW the next few weeks. So that's next week. Guys, if you enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe. Goots' Wrestling Pod. Please give us a follow. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram. Ray Goots Comedy on TikTok. Ray Goots on Instagram and Facebook and all that other shit. And Twitter. There's also Twitter. And yeah. So that's it for the Rumble. We're here in 1989. Andrew Lee, I'll see you next week, bro.
See you later.
Thanks, bro.